part of the show by dropping us your questions or comments to blueraidernet@gmail.com. Tonight's show is presented by Ascend Federal Credit Union, the exclusive credit union of Blue Raider Athletics. Bud Light, it's for the fans. And Ascension St. Thomas, the official hospital partner of MTSU.
Buford from 17, good, and middle wins it.
Now with Coach Nick McDevitt, here's the voice of the Blue Raiders.
Going up 3, 2, 1.
Into the Boulevard here on this Monday night. Chip Walters along with head coach Nick McDevitt. And welcome into Nick McDevitt Live. We'll be here until 8 o'clock talking Blue Raider basketball. And we'll a lot of stuff going on. And it's a big full week of conference play. Last week, big road trip that the Blue Raiders split. And this week, you've got two really good teams coming in with New Mexico State on Thursday night and then UTEP on Saturday afternoon. And here on the show tonight, we got the head coach, and we've got two Blue Raider players. We've got Isaiah Lightsey and Jack Jubinville will be our guests. They'll be coming up at the bottom of the hour. Coach, how was your dinner tonight?
Oh, it's terrific.
Okay.
I love that. The pizza is really good. I love getting that. It's basically like a meat lover's pizza. It's like the Rocky meat pie, I think is what they call it. But, man, it's good.
Yep, and your kids, let's see, Katie has, she went with a taco salad tonight.
She eats like an adult.
She does. And,
she really does. She can eat just about anything.
My man Cooper, he is the All-American burger over there.
Burger.
He is there. So everybody's enjoying their dinner, having a good time. Middle enters the week, or comes out of the weekend, I should say, in a three-way tie for first in Conference USA at 5-2. Blue Raiders tied with UTEP and Jacksonville State. Now, folks, when you look at this week and next week, Middle will have New Mexico State, UTEP, Kennesaw, and Jacksonville State, and all four of those opponents have either 2 or 3 losses. So
they're either in first or
either in
one
first
game
or,
out.
Yeah, either in first or one game out. So it is an absolute battle from first to about 8th right now in the league.
Yeah, there's just so many good teams in the league. You know, there's not a dog in the race, and there's not a team that's a front runner that's so much better than everybody else that they can afford to play okay and win games. It's a really good league. It's a strong year in CUSA basketball, and we got to play good this weekend.
One of the things coaches look at, basketball junkies look at, what is the net ranking? Where do you stand in Ken Palm? Ken Palm is one guy who has a formula where everything is ranked. The net is put out by the NCAA with, we're all now familiar with algorithms and formulas and all of that. But where Middle stands right now in the net, which is put out by the NCAA, Middle is at number 98 out of 363 teams. Ken Palm at number 106. But the thing is, we talk about how tough this league is, and it's not just lip service. When you look at the NCAA net, what is it, 8 or 9 of the top teams are 200 or above, which for the bulk of a lot of the league is up about 100 points from where it was a year ago.
Yeah, that's why our league is 9th in the country. You know, there's 32, 33 leagues, and right now we're in terms of the Ken Palm, you know, we're top 10 league. We're 9th. The A10 is 8, we're 9, and the American is 10. So, you know, we're just going to play good teams every week is what it means. Yeah. You know, and that's the deal. We've got 11 regular season games left, and they're all good. Just got to play good.
One of the things that goes along with your league being better is an automatic NIT berth for the regular season champion should they not win the conference tournament. And that goes to what, the top 10 or 12?
12.
Top 12 leagues. So right now Conference USA is in a good position for that. And so that opens up postseason opportunities for more in this league. And you know, that's the one thing that has not happened this year, is that the good teams in the league have gained ground in the net and Ken Palm. with wins, where there have been years in the past where you get into your league if you had a good net, and the league sometimes could drag you down. But that's not the case this year. Everybody's good. Everybody can get everybody on any given night.
Yeah, that's what every league around the country is trying to figure out what to do in non-conference scheduling, is so that when you get to conference games, you don't have anybody or multiple teams, particularly, that drag your top teams down. And so you try to figure out the best formula as a conference. And, there are conferences around the country that know how to game the system. And, it's hard to find space in there.
Yeah.
And the bottom line is you just got to try to find ways to win non-conference games. Schedule's as good a non-conference schedule as you can, and then when the game starts, you got to win them.
The two best non-conference schedules this year in Conference USA were Sam Houston and Middle.
Correct. And
Middle's schedule, I think we talked about it a couple of weeks ago, I think maybe I had it on the broadcast on one of the games, of where a lot of your non-conference opponents, whether they be in the Missouri Valley, the American, where they kind of stand, and they're all in a fight in their own leagues around the country.
Yeah, you see and that's what helps drive up your net.
Yes.
Is
your opponents and your opponents' opponents.
Yeah, your opponents, and how good are they doing? We played and beat UAB. Well, now you're cheering for UAB to win the rest of their games. You beat Lipscomb. Well, you want Lipscomb to do well the rest of the year. The better the opponents that you beat, the better they do, the better your nets.
Ohio U, South Florida, all of those.
It's not just a formula that decides who gets in, but it's also a formula that's used to seed the teams that are in the tournaments, whether it's the NCAA tournament or the NIT. So the better seed you get, obviously, it increases your chances of advancing. And when we get an NCAA tournament, you don't want to just get there and be one and done. You're trying to advance.
Yep.
And the better your seeding is, the lesser opponent you're going to play.
Well, as we move into this week, here's where the Conference USA standings lie. Middle, UTEP, Jacksonville State, all at 5-2 in the league, 7 games in. Liberty, Kennesaw, and New Mexico State, all 4-3. So the top 6 are all within 1 game of each other. A game back there, or a half game back there, is Louisiana Tech at 4-4, and we know how good they are. Western Kentucky is another half game back. They're at 3-4. FIU at 1-6, and Sam Houston has got to be the best 1-7 team in the country after seeing them play in person.
Yeah, they're good. They just don't have margin for error right now.
And they've got some injury problems. They've had some injury issues.
That's my point, is that last year there's just not margin for error. They've got a couple good players. Lamar Wilkerson's really good. Hoofner's really good. But those guys have to carry the load for them most of the game. We had kind of had that injury bug last year, and there's just little margin for error when you're playing other good teams, and that's really where they are. Is the game has they just can't afford foul trouble. They can't afford Wilkerson not to play well. They played Western when we went to La Tech, and Wilkerson was just okay. Mm-hmm. And you're just not going to beat Western Kentucky when you don't have another body to put out there that he's just playing okay today. We got to get him out and let this guy tote the bell, and they don't have that right now.
Folks, tonight's show brought to you in part by First Vision Bank. Accomplish your vision for your financial or business finances with First Vision Bank. With dedicated banking professionals, products to fit your goals, and advanced financial management tools, your vision is their mission. FVB.bank, FDIC, equal housing lender. More with Coach Nick McDevitt after this on the Blue Raider Network from Van Wagner.
Hey, Blue Raider fans, have you heard about the MTSU branded debit card from Ascend Federal Credit Union? Use your Ascend MTSU debit card in stores and online, or add it to your mobile wallet for the ultimate convenience. Need some cash? Use this card fee-free at thousands of ATMs worldwide. Stop by one of Ascend's 5 Murfreesboro branches or visit ascend.org to learn more. Bank where Blue Raiders belong. Ascend Federal Credit Union, the exclusive credit union of Blue Raider Athletics.
Not feeling well and need to see a doctor? Find the care you need now at Ascension St. Thomas. We're here with 24/7 ER care, same-day care, and walk-in urgent care for broken bones, sprains, allergies, sore throats, and more. Visit ascension.org/St. Thomas Care to get the right care at the right place at the right time. Serving Middle Tennessee State University, Murfreesboro, and surrounding communities.
Nothing is more expensive than a missed opportunity that could have changed your life. Maybe you're just graduating high school, or are working and need to earn a degree to advance your career. Or you aspire to be a leader, and a graduate degree can make that happen. Whether you're just starting out or retooling for the future, Middle Tennessee State University can help you get there. MTSU, the University of Opportunities.
Roscoe Brown is proud to be a longtime supporter of MTSU Athletics and your locally owned HVAC and plumbing company for over 80 years. Roscoe Brown has been the trusted name for heating, cooling, and plumbing for Middle Tennessee homeowners and businesses. Call 888-MY-ROSCOE to schedule your HVAC or plumbing service today. Turn to the experts at Carrier and Roscoe Brown. People you know, a name you trust. Go Blue Raiders.
Roscoe Brown. RoscoeBrown.com.
Tennessee Orthopedic Alliance takes great pride in supporting and treating Middle Tennessee State University athletes, providing expert treatment of injuries to bones, joints, or muscles. TOA's team of orthopedic specialists can get you.
Go ahead.
Same-day appointments and walk-ins are welcome. Injured? Visit one of our many ortho urgent cares, or to make an appointment, call 1-855-NEED-TOA.
No problem. Do I need to come in hard with the closer or fade it in?
Team doctor for Blue Raider Athletics.
The MTSU Alumni Association is proud of more than 130,000 living alumni who are leading, teaching, entertaining, researching, flying, farming, nursing, and more worldwide. Every Blue Raider accomplishment adds value to your degree. Are you connected to the MTSU National Alumni Association? Visit mtalumni.com to share what you're doing. Update your information and see how you can be involved and informed. You can also follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
Coming back in 3, 2, 1.
Welcome back into the Boulevard tonight for Nick McDevitt Live. Blue Raiders are back at home this week. New Mexico State on Thursday night and UTEP on Saturday afternoon. And our show, of course, here at the Boulevard, across from campus, across at the corner of Middle Tennessee and East Main, our favorite sports bar. We're glad to be here. The road trip started at Sam Houston last Thursday night, but in addition to trying to get ready and a scouting report ready for the game, you, Rob Burlingham, and had to figure out, okay, where is there not going to be snow and which airport is going to be open to be able to land a plane on Wednesday. So there was a little chess game going on there.
Yeah, we were just working two plans simultaneously to be able to get down there, because what we didn't want to do is have a situation where we're traveling down there on game day, or having to play Sam Houston on Friday and La Tech not wanting to push their game to Sunday. Obviously, it was a nationally televised game on Saturday, and so if you're La Tech, you could push the game to accommodate us, and now you just lost a home televised ESPN game. And so, you could understand if there's some reluctance to do that. And so we wanted to give ourselves the best chance possible. So we were trying to figure out the weather report in Houston, and Brent Seacrest, one of our former players here, lives in Houston still, so we were getting some weather report from him. Scott Pera, the former coach at Rice, still lives in Houston, so we were doubling down on getting weather reports from those two. So it ended up being an easy flight to get into Houston, and it all worked out. Because
you were thinking about flying into Dallas because there had been no snow in Dallas.
Correct. And it had missed there, so we were working a plan to fly into Dallas and make that 2:45, 3-hour drive
instead of an hour drive.
Instead of an hour. That's right.
Well, and then you had to deal with a Sam Houston team that is scary as all get out. Their guards play as physical as anybody in the league. Boykin is super physical, and then you have Wilkerson, who is a 20-point-a-game scorer.
Yeah, I think he's one of the better wings in our league and really around basketball. He's a three-level scorer. He's strong. He could shoot from well beyond the arc. He's got a good mid-range game. He's big enough and athletic enough to finish at the rim, and so they run a lot of stuff through him, and, rightfully so, they should. And Hoofner is a matchup problem. I mean, he's a big young man. I mean, he's 6'8", 230, and so when you put smalls on him, he posts them up, and when you put bigger guys on him, he takes them out to the three-point line and makes shots. They're two good players.
Yeah, and then they have Sacco, who is
an athletic, big specimen
who can run the floor.
Big dude. We were showing clips of him going into the game, and he had some pretty impressive lob dunk finishes, and he's a transfer from Utah State, and he's just a threat around the rim. He's always a lob threat on the offensive end, and can block shots on the defensive end. So their guards are able to play really physical and really tough defensively and just funnel everything to him. They run you off the three-point line and want you to shoot mid-range pull-up twos, and now they're funneling into a 6'11" shot blocker.
Yeah, you were down 2 at the half, but I thought your depth in the second half made a difference. You had more weapons you could go to, and they were playing well, and you built a 5 to 7 point lead. You kept most of the second half until, of course, at home, you got to know that if you're on somebody else's home floor, they're going to make one more run at you, and that's what happened, but you were able to withstand that.
We were. There was back-to-back possessions that really got us to that point. We practiced situational basketball weekly, and leading up to that game, we had done several, do it throughout the week, where we were putting 3 minutes up on the clock and giving somebody a 4 or 5 point lead. And we were choosing to score 72 to 68 with 3 to go multiple times. Was same Houston game starting, it was 72 to 68 with 3 minutes to go in the game. And so we were telling our guys, like, this is the exact situation that we talk about, and these next two are really big. We need a stop and a score. And now we can have a 6 or 7 point lead. We went down, got a stop, came down, and JP made the 3 right in front of our bench. And now we were up 7 with about 2.5 to go. And that was stuff that we talk about in practice. Like, now you got to screw this up. And as long as we're not giving up offensive rebounds, Coach Hitchell talked about this a while ago, like on the defensive end of the floor, don't parade them to the free throw line and don't give up offensive rebounds. And then on the other end, don't turn the ball over. And we went the last 2 minutes and we didn't score, not from the field.
Right.
And still won the game because we didn't give up offensive rebounds and we didn't turn the ball over on offense.
Yeah, JP, Justin Porter, tied his career high with 8 threes. And I asked him, I think we were on the bus going to the hotel after we landed. I said, JP, what does your ticket request look like for tomorrow night? And he pulled out his phone, and I bet there were 50 names on the list. And because he is from Houston, but he had friends and family, and
Chris Loof had some folks there.
They did.
He did. And
man, did he
Counter, obviously being from Oklahoma, had some folks that drove there as well. So we had a decent little cheering section.
But boy, did he put on a show for his folks. 8 threes and 28 points.
Yeah, our guys started to see that he was feeling it. You could kind of hear the energy on the bench as well. They knew he was starting to heat up, and it's obviously nice to have a weapon like that. I thought he was incredible. He was incredible. But Jacob Johnson was the guy that really kind of changed the energy in the building and for our team, and for somebody that hadn't played a lot over the last several weeks, he stays ready, and he went in there and made some big plays for us.
Yeah, he comes, and he's a pro. I mean, the way he approaches, and he's a glue guy.
He just approaches the day like a man.
Yeah.
He doesn't act like, and he's not, he doesn't act like a kid.
Yeah.
I mean, he just handles his business like, just a mature person would.
And talk about the last possession, and both on offense and defense, and how it worked out.
Yeah, when Lamar Wilkerson, we're up 2, and Lamar Wilkerson gets the ball, it's kind of a loose one. They come up with it with about 6 or 7 seconds to go in the game, and you're thinking, uh-oh, because they've got an advantage break the other way. I thought he might pull up for 3 and go for the game winner. But once he got inside the three-point line with about 2 or 3 seconds left, you're just hoping we don't give up an and one. Because, again, Wilkerson's one of the top 4 or 5 players in the league. And, with his body and his athleticism, you knew that he was going to try to stick it. Right
and here came Justin Buford out of nowhere.
Here came JB, and you're thinking, man, if he fouls him, he can't let him get one off.
Yeah.
And he got a clean block, and, we're able to win that game by 2.
Yeah, 77-75 was the final. And it was, in particular for JP's friends and family who were there, and they enjoyed that one a lot. Your guys enjoyed it, and it made – because you left right after the game and went on to Ruston, and they made a stop at Buc-ee's. They talked you into that, and we took a quick trip about 20 minutes into Buc-ee's, and everybody had a good time and got on into Ruston. So
you can't pass a Buc-ee's and not stop. So they wanted to do it, so we went in there and made a little pit stop and kept on going. It made the rest of the bus ride, because we got into to Ruston about 2:30 in the morning.
Yep.
So it was a long night on the bus, and but we had some snacks that made it a little less hard.
That's right, and they were not healthy snacks either coming out of there. But anyway, the Raiders won at 77-75 with a game at Louisiana Tech on the horizon, and we'll talk about that with the coach after this on the Blue Raider Network from Van Wagner.
When the arena lights dim for a concert, or when the crowd becomes one at a big game, you can almost feel like you're the biggest fan. But who's your biggest fan? It's the person that will get you home safely after a night of drinking. It's the person who looks out for your life to make sure you leave the stadium with someone sober. This could be a designated driver or someone who offers to get you a ride share. Because in Tennessee, fans don't let fans drive drunk. Brought to you by the Tennessee Highway Safety Office, a division of the Tennessee Department of Safety and Homeland Security.
Plan ahead and plan for success. Put Lee Company on your team for all your facility and home maintenance needs. They are proud to be an official partner of the MTSU Blue Raiders and have serviced homes and businesses for 80 years. For the very best heating, air conditioning, plumbing, and electrical services, call Lee Company at 615-867-1000. Visit them at leecompany.com or call 615-867-1000.
RJ Young is no longer just your office copier supplier. We are now helping you create the modern office. Our cutting-edge solutions cover security systems, business phones, managed IT, and AV technology for your organization. We've teamed up with world-class partners to save you more through building services, and our U.S.-based specialists are your personal coaches, making sure you always have the highest degree of personalization.
Smith dribbles to the top of the key and lets it fly, and it's no good. Oh, but wait, he was fouled. They'll have another chance to win. Hey, you know what this reminds me of, Bob?
The game against State last year.
Nope, the bonus scratch instant games from the Tennessee Lottery. They give you 2 chances to win, one on the front of the ticket and one on the back.
Okay, that's random.
Play the bonus scratch instant games today for your chance at up to $500,000. The Tennessee Lottery, game-changing fun. Please play responsibly.
I've had my eye on this sports car for a while. It's not a must-have, more like a would-be nice to have.
We all have things we hope to get someday. With great auto loan rates from Ascent, we're here to help make your someday soon.
Well, guess what? I'm about to be very nice to myself. Call me Mr. Nice Guy.
Ascent Federal Credit Union. Apply online today.
Not feeling well and need to see a doctor? Find the care you need now at Ascension St. Thomas. We're here with 24/7 ER care, same-day care, and walk-in urgent care for broken bones, sprains, allergies, sore throats, and more. Visit ascension.org/St. Thomas Care to get the right care at the right place at the right time. Serving Middle Tennessee State University, Murfreesboro, and surrounding communities.
Back in 3, 2, 1.
Welcome back into the Boulevard here tonight as Middle Tennessee gets ready for New Mexico State. Coach Nick McDevitt joins us, and as we mentioned, Middle got a 77-75 road win at Sam Houston and headed up to Ruston, Louisiana to take on the Bulldogs of Louisiana Tech on a national televised game on ESPNU. And when you start breaking down Louisiana Tech, it all starts with Daniel Bacho.
It all starts with the big fella. He's you can see why he started his career at both Arizona and Texas Tech. He's got that level of size and length. He's not just 6'11", but he has long arms and has really good timing. You rarely see him jump for a block shot and somebody not shoot it. You rarely see a lob thrown in his direction and he mistimes his jump or doesn't jump at all. He also has the ability to catch lobs in traffic. Some guys need a runway, what we call a runway, just several steps, space to have 3 or 4 steps to get their feet right and their timing right to jump. He doesn't. He's just always ready to just go get it, and it's not necessarily jump up there to tomahawk and dunk it.
Yeah.
He just has good timing to jump up there, catch it, and lay it in.
Well, he must, because, the one thing he must be is the most well-prepared, most well-executed player in the country, because 31 minutes and no fouls.
That was amazing. That was amazing how we came into the game as one of the fewest fouling teams in the league. We were 10 of 10. They were the 3rd most fouling team in the league. These are just facts. These aren't just we're not
coach speak.
Not complaining about officiating, but somehow after 25 minutes of play, we had 9 fouls and they had 1.
So that's 5 minutes deep into the second half.
1 foul in 25 minutes of play, and they were one of the most fouling teams in our league coming into the game. And so that doesn't help. We got beat by 16 points at the free throw line, and it's hard to guard that.
Yeah. That's the way it happened. But they, to their credit, I mean, they get the ball.
Said, there weren't a ton, and I'll be honest, there weren't a ton where you go back and you watch it like, man, I thought they fouled us 24 times and they didn't call them.
Yeah.
But we with all that said, we were still up 4 with about 4.5 minutes to go, and had given ourselves a real shot to sweep the road trip. But it goes back to Bacho. He scored 8 in a row by himself. We were up 4, and he scored the next 8 points, and we went from up 63-59 to down 67-63, and they were all his points, and it was all at the rim. He was either getting an O-board stick back, or they're throwing lobs to him, and he's tough. He's good.
Well, and to their credit, they know how to use him.
Yeah, they don't throw it to him to back you down.
No,
because guys like Esam is able to defend guys that want to back you down easier than guys that catch lobs for finishes. He's well built and built lower to the ground. He's not a 7-footer himself or a high leaper. So there are times where he's able to use his strength and his size to get up under guys, and they struggle to back him down. That's not what Bacho is. He came to the game shooting, over 75% from the floor, because what he does is catches lobs and lays it in.
And they have a guard, Sean Newman, who is number 1 in the country in assists. Going into the game Saturday, he'd already had 182 assists this year. He had 9 more, I think, on Saturday.
Well, he was averaging 9.3 coming into the game. Had a 20 assist game this year, and so obviously that'll run your average up. But had 20 assists in one game.
Yeah, and in the way that game down, it was. I mean, we it's a broken record, but we talk about how physical these games are night in, night out in the league, and that one basically came down to the last 4 minutes. You're tied at the under 4 media timeout, and it comes down to that. And if you're a coach on the road against a good team, you'll take that opportunity and see how it plays out. And what you just mentioned about the Bacho scoring 8 straight was what the difference in the game was.
Yeah, we watched the film today and talked exactly about that. A 2-game road trip, and you've won game 1, and in game 2 you got a 4-point lead with 4.5 to go. The road trip's gone really well at that point, and we had about 3 or 4 possessions in a row that they weren't bad shots. They weren't great shots, and we just kind of took some middle of the road offensive possessions, and they were playing at the rim, and that was really the difference in the game. About a 3-minute stretch from the 4.5-minute mark to the 1.5-minute mark is what decided the game.
Yeah, the Blue Raiders that day scored 38 in the paint. You turned Tech over. You scored 20 points off turnovers, and your bench came up big with 26 points, and you gave them all they wanted that day for sure.
Yeah, you know, I didn't think we didn't play bad.
No,
we played
not
hard
at all.
and played pretty good. They played hard and played well, and the guys that like their stud had a stud game.
Yeah.
You know that you gotta, when you're playing a good opponent, we're a good opponent. You've got to have your best player step up. A first-team All-League guy in Daniel Bacho had 25 points and 12 rebounds, and they had another guy that Cooper that also had a double-double.
Yep.
And had 16 points and 13 rebounds. And you know, with all that said, like we talked about, it's a tie game with 3 to go.
Yeah.
And you've withstood a really good team playing at home, good crowd, ESPN game, and we had a crack at them.
Yep, 75-69. Tech wins that one, and the Blue Raiders split the road trip and come home for New Mexico State and UTEP this week. We will step aside, and we'll have our guests coming up, Isaiah Lightsey and Jack Jubinville, right after this, as you listen to Nick McDevitt live on the Blue Raider Network from Van Wagner.
When the arena lights dim for a concert, or when the crowd becomes one at a big game, you can almost feel like you're the biggest fan. But who's your biggest fan? It's the person that will get you home safely after a night of drinking. It's the person who looks out for your life to make sure you leave the stadium with someone sober. This could be a designated driver or someone who offers to get you a ride share. Because in Tennessee, fans don't let fans drive drunk. Brought to you by the Tennessee Highway Safety Office, a division of the Tennessee Department of Safety and Homeland Security.
Plan ahead and plan for success. Put Lee Company on your team for all your facility and home maintenance needs. They are proud to be an official partner of the MTSU Blue Raiders and have serviced homes and businesses for 80 years. For the very best heating, air conditioning, plumbing, and electrical services, call Lee Company at 615-867-1000. Visit them at leecompany.com or call 615-867-1000.
RJ Young is no longer just your office copier supplier. We are now helping you create the modern office. Our cutting-edge solutions cover security systems, business phones, managed IT, and AV technology for your organization. We've teamed up with world-class partners to save you more through building services, and our U.S.-based specialists are your personal coaches, making sure you always have the highest degree of personalization.
Smith dribbles to the top of the key and lets it fly, and it's no good. Oh, but wait, he was fouled. They'll have another chance to win. Hey, you know what this reminds me of, Bob?
The game against State last year.
Nope, the bonus scratch instant games from the Tennessee Lottery. They give you 2 chances to win, one on the front of the ticket and one on the back.
Okay, that's random.
Play the bonus scratch instant games today for your chance at up to $500,000. The Tennessee Lottery, game-changing fun. Please play responsibly.
When it comes to money, I'm a saver.
Me too. Though I can also be a bit of a spender.
Well, Ascend has got you both covered. With our interest-earning checking, you can
earn interest so I can save money for my beach trip?
Sure. And with our rewards checking, you can
get cash back for my purchases? Tap reward?
Yep. So no matter how you handle your money, Ascend Federal Credit Union has the right checking account for you. Interest-earning checking earns 3.56% annual percentage yield up to $15,000. Some restrictions apply.
Not feeling well and need to see a doctor? Find the care you need now at Ascension St. Thomas. We're here with 24/7 ER care, same-day care, and walk-in urgent care for broken bones, sprains, allergies, sore throats, and more. Visit ascension.org/St. Thomas Care to get the right care at the right place at the right time. Serving Middle Tennessee State University, Murfreesboro, and surrounding communities.
Going up in 3, 2, 1.
Welcome back into the Boulevard on this Monday night as we're back at it with Nick McDevitt live. We will have 5 more straight Mondays. We'll be right here to wrap up the season as we head throughout the Conference USA year. I want to remind you, Raiders Rising is the official NIL collective for Blue Raider Athletics. They provide student athletes from all 17 varsity sports at MTSU opportunities to earn income based on their name, image, and likeness. You can follow on X at Raiders Rising or at Raiders Rising I want to welcome in a couple of hometown heroes today. They are Jack Jubenville and Isaiah Lightsey.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right. Guys, you own all that you survey here with the crowd. Your hometown folks are here. And I'll ask both of you, what is it like to play college basketball in your hometown? Go ahead.
It's great. A blessing. To be able to play here.
It's bussin'?
A blessing.
Oh, I thought you said it's bussin'.
No. It's a blessing. To have my family around, that's really the most important part to me. To be able to be with my mom. My mom works at MT. To see her every day. It's just great.
Jack, what about you? Because, I mean, the Jubenville family's all in.
Yes, sir.
Between you and your sister, she's on the dance team, your dad teaches, and your mom is there for all kind of support.
We got the whole crew. We're gonna have my mom come out, and she's gonna be a cheerleader, so we can all be all together. But when I was young, and I always came to camp, so it was always a dream of mine to put on the Blue Raider jersey. I didn't know if I wanted to play football or basketball or baseball, but just one of them.
Yeah.
And, Coach McDevitt gave us the opportunity, me and Isaiah both, and I think we're both just really happy with the outcome from it.
Yeah, what folks may not know, I mean, they've seen you on this team for the last 3 years together, but it's not the first time you all have been on the same roster.
That's right. We played high school freshman year at Siegel. That's right. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
You.
Huh? Oh yeah, we did.
Like 2 tournaments.
Yep.
And you chose to go to Middle Tennessee Christian.
Yes, sir.
And you finished your high school career at Siegel. You guys obviously didn't play against each other after that, except maybe summer scrimmages or whatever. But talk about your high school career at Siegel here in town and how much fun that was.
Super fun. We got a chance to play in the state tournament my senior year, which was at the Murphy Center. So that was super cool. It was just great experience to play at the Murphy Center and then being able to come back and be a part of this team.
Yeah, and do you think, Jack, that sometimes because there are kids all over this state that it's in their locker room where they want to end their season, and it's right up the street here at Murphy Center. Do you think sometimes, since we drive by it and go to it every day, that sometimes we take it a little for granted of what a great place it is?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's a beautiful arena. It's a beautiful place to play, and especially just being from this state, you always dream of coming to play in the Glass House. That's such a big thing to do.
Yep, and you guys get to practice in it every day and play in it, and you've been doing that, as we mentioned, for what, is it 3 or 4 years together?
3 years together. This is my 4th year.
Okay, and but for you guys, talk a little bit about your roles, because you guys do some very specific things that are of huge value to this ball club. And you can kind of kick it off, Isaiah, and talk a little bit about what you and Jack do and what you're called on to do during the week.
Our goal is to get the team prepared to win. And so every day, we like to say our game days are the day before the game. So we're trying to get the team ready, do what we can do to make sure that we're prepared to go out and win.
How do you, so Jack, does that mean that you all have to soak in the scout a little bit more because you guys are going to be mimicking the opponent's guards a lot of times?
Yes, sir. Yeah, we try our best to replicate the 1 and the 2. Usually, we're usually the 1. I'm the 1, Zay's the 2. So we try to replicate the best of each team and what they do and what they show, so that we can prepare our team to win, and they have a little familiarity of what it's going to be like when game day comes.
Who are the easiest in our conference to mimic, and who are the toughest?
Let me go first.
You got it.
I would say the easiest for me and Zay is Liberty, because I would say I'm Colin Porter, and then he's Matheny.
Yeah, I like that.
Hardest?
I don't know.
Probably UTEP.
Yeah, UTEP.
Well, that means you got to do a little extra work this week.
Yep, definitely.
This group. I've been fortunate to travel with men's basketball for quite some time now. I'm not sure I've been around a group that enjoys each other's company as much as this group does. And what is it about this team and how they have meshed so well? Because you've got a bunch of older guys Is it maturity or the personalities just fit? What do you think?
I think everybody on our team 1 through 15 is unselfish, and they're willing to do whatever it takes to win, and that we mesh well together because nobody's worried about who plays these minutes, who does this, who has this role. 1 through 15, we're worried about winning, and it works.
With you, there's one of the great stats about this team is that there are no teenagers on the roster. A lot of folks don't realize that. That's how mature this team is. Everybody is at least 20 years old or older. Can you tell a difference in that? I mean, it's not that you're not having fun when y'all are together by any stretch.
No, you can definitely tell in moments. Just from my first few years, we were a little bit younger, and there's certain moments when you can see when things are harder or stuff's going on the court that isn't easy to handle. That this team handles it a lot better than teams I've been on prior. But I mean, we just have a bunch of guys with really big personalities and really high spirits.
Okay, let me ask you about a couple big personalities. Explain Essam Mustafa. If you had to explain to somebody that had not met him, how would you describe Essam to someone that maybe had seen him play but had not met him?
A people person. I think he could talk to a brick wall.
That's an understatement.
Actually, I think he could talk to a brick wall. Definitely.
And I've seen him do it.
I believe it.
and he, but on the floor, Jack, you were here to see Dishman play.
Yes, sir.
And he brings, what I call the old man game. He's got the scoop shots and the reverse layups, and his timing is impeccable. And his footwork is unbelievable.
Esam's?
Yeah.
So my nickname for Essam is Salami. That's what I always called him that. So, but yeah, I mean, the shots that he shoots in games, he's like a little guard in the post. He finds a magical window to get it up on the glass and somehow put the right touch on it to get it in there.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. And the other, when you talk about newcomers, Essam, Mr. Inside, Jalen Counter adds a different dimension to some great guys we have watched grow up, like Cam and Justin Porter and Justin Buford. But Jalen, he's a guy who started for 4 years at IUPUI, and he brings just – everybody's style is just a little different, and his really impacts winning a lot.
Definitely. He's not one-dimensional at all. He can do a lot of things for our team: pass, score, defend. So that definitely helps.
Yeah,
that's big for us because, having him and Cam together, you're always constantly having a floor general in the game.
Yeah.
Somebody who's going to be able to handle the pressure, and when they're in together. Like if one's out, one's in, but if they're in together, it's a two-headed snake. You got to deal with one off the ball and one on the ball, and it's
hard to guard.
Two guys that know what they're doing with the ball in their hands.
I'll tell you, and then there are times in the game where we see that three-guard lineup with all three of them out there, and that is a lot to deal with if you're an opponent, and it shows with how. If you need to make sure you get. Run some good offense and get a good shot out of a set or whatever. And whether it is Torrey or JB at the 4 or whether it's Essam or Chris at the 5, those three guards, that really spreads a defense thin, and they have to honor that.
It does.
Yep.
Definitely.
Let's talk about the future for this team. Here you are right now at 14-6. You're 5-2 in the league. And you've got New Mexico State and UTEP coming in. They were the Rabbits when the conference season started. They jumped out early, and they've kind of come back to the pack just a little bit. But what you all see on a night-in, night-out basis, because I see you all back there, you're checking scores, you're watching games, no matter where we are. This week is an important week because, once again, you got to take care of things at home.
Yes, sir.
I think it's like that. Our whole league, like Coach said, our league is really good. So every night is an important game.
Yeah. Talk a little bit about, go ahead.
Well, Coach McDevitt just always hones in on we have to hold serve at home to be able to win the league, try to go on the road and steal a couple. So these are our biggest games to get when we're at home with our fans. And by the way, everybody, fans, please come out if you're listening. We would like a lot of fans here.
Well, I was going to bring that up. The Western Kentucky game was the biggest crowd of the year, and everybody had a good time, and the game, got really rolling in the second half, and it was the buzz around town. Don't let that be a one-time thing, right?
Yes, sir.
Come out this week. New Mexico State's really good. UTEP, one of the better defensive teams, and they're both well-coached teams. So that's the sixth man is real.
We got a fun team to watch too.
Yeah, absolutely you do. And that's all coming up this week. 6:30 on Thursday, and Saturday will be a 2 o'clock game at the Murphy Center. So for UTEP, and everybody come on out. Guys, besides the basketball part, you're in grad school, right?
No, sir. I'm finishing my last.
Finishing your last. Okay. How many hours you got this semester?
13 left.
13 left.
Yes,
and you will graduate in May.
Yes, sir.
And what about you?
Same thing. Graduating in May.
Graduating in May.
Yep.
So, and who's been your favorite teacher so far?
I know my answer is Colby Jubenville.
Oh. Well, I think you have a fine career in sales waiting for you soon. And what about you? Have you had your dad's class? Have you taken your dad's class?
We're currently in it together right now, but he's been teaching me my whole life, so I'll go with my accounting professor, Dr. John Wormert. He was good.
Okay, well, good deal. There you go. So, guys, keep it going. Keep doing what you're doing. You're a huge part of this ball club, and I wanted to make sure everybody had an opportunity to talk about that tonight.
Yes, sir.
Thanks a lot. All right, Isaiah Lightsey and Jack Jubenville joining us. We'll have more with Coach Nick McDevitt after this on the Blue Raider Network from Van Wagner.
Nothing is more expensive than a missed opportunity that could have changed your life. Maybe you're just graduating high school, or are working and need to earn a degree to advance your career. Or you aspire to be a leader, and a graduate degree can make that happen. Whether you're just starting out or retooling for the future, Middle Tennessee State University can help you get there. MTSU, the University of Opportunities.
Roscoe Brown is proud to be a longtime supporter of MTSU athletics and your locally owned HVAC and plumbing company for over 80 years. Roscoe Brown has been the trusted name for heating, cooling, and plumbing for Middle Tennessee homeowners and businesses. Call 888-MY-ROSCOE to schedule your HVAC or plumbing service today. Turn to the experts at Carrier and Roscoe Brown. People you know, a name you trust. Go Blue Raiders.
Roscoe Brown. RoscoeBrown.com.
Tennessee Orthopedic Alliance takes great pride in supporting and treating Middle Tennessee State University athletes, providing expert treatment of injuries to bones, joints, or muscles. TOA's team of orthopedic specialists can get you back in the game. Same-day appointments and walk-ins are welcome. Injured? Visit one of our many ortho urgent cares, or to make an appointment, call 1-855-NEED-TOA or visit www.toa.com. TOA, the official team doctor for Blue Raider Athletics.
The MTSU Alumni Association is proud of its more than 130,000 living alumni who are leading, teaching, entertaining, researching, flying, farming, nursing, and more worldwide. Every Blue Raider accomplishment adds value to your degree. Are you connected to the MTSU National Alumni Association? Visit mtalumni.com to share what you're doing. Update your information and see how you can be involved and informed. You can also follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
When the arena lights dim for a concert, or when the crowd becomes one at a big game, you can almost feel like you're the biggest fan. But who's your biggest fan? It's the person that will get you home safely after a night of drinking. It's the person who looks out for your life to make sure you leave the stadium with someone sober. This could be a designated driver or someone who offers to get you a ride share. Because in Tennessee, fans don't let fans drive drunk. Brought to you by the Tennessee Highway Safety Office, a division of the Tennessee Department of Safety and Homeland Security.
Plan ahead and plan for success. Put Lee Company on your team for all your facility and home maintenance needs. They are proud to be an official partner of the MTSU Blue Raiders and have serviced homes and businesses for 80 years. For the very best heating, air conditioning, plumbing, and electrical services, call Lee Company at 615-867-1000. Visit them at leecompany.com or call 615-867-1000.
Going up in 3, 2, 1.
Welcome back into the Boulevard tonight, and our program brought to you in part by Bud Light. Easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Enjoy responsibly, Bud Light. Coach, having Isaiah and Jack come on tonight, you and I had the same idea the other day, yesterday, when we were coming back about who to have on tonight. And those guys add so much value to your ball club.
Extreme value. Every day, you know, they're high energy guys. They're both really smart young men. They're mature. They just bring great energy to your program. And it's not just the day before the game that their biggest value is seen. Obviously, they're on the scout team the day before the game and running through the other team's stuff so that the guys that are going to play the heavy minutes know what they're doing. But it's earlier in the week where you know you're going to, it's us on us. You can't ask Justin Porter and Cam Weston and Jalen Counter to play 35 minutes each during the game, and then the next day at practice get all the reps. So in those days, we're putting them all on the same team. The guys that played a lot all on the same team, and Jack's running point for it's our stuff versus those guys. Isaiah Lightsey is running the 2-guard and it's our stuff with for instance, Christian Fussell is their center. I mean, those guys, if you don't have those players on your team, you can't have guys on your team that can't carry their own weight, and they're not going to be in the way. And these young men have brought big value for us, and it's been great having both of them as a part of our program.
Yep. They speaking of great value, they and members of your program were able to help me out this week in coming up with 5 random questions for the head coach. And these, I'll tell you, we'll go quick with these here. First from Rory Hayes, our video guy. Rory, this is an easy one to kind of get you warmed up. Give me your top 5 all-time NASCAR drivers.
Top 5 all-time NASCAR drivers.
Yep.
Number 1 is Jeff Gordon. Definitely Jeff Gordon. Okay. Are you asking me my guys?
Yeah,
yes,
yours.
Well, he wasn't.
Or who you think's the best?
He wasn't somebody I cheered for, but obviously Jimmy Johnson, or else my wife's going to be mad at me if I don't say him because that was her driver.
Yeah.
I was a Bill Elliott fan when I was younger, and that's why I pull for Chase Elliott now, or at least in part, and Dale Earnhardt Sr.
No Richard Petty.
Well, you know, I'm not as old as you are, Chip.
I understand
I didn't watch Richard Petty.
That's true, you're not.
And Cale Yarborough race on. I mean,
I had Neil Bonnet in there somewhere.
The reruns. You and Greg Beatty saw that stuff.
Oh, by the way, happy birthday to Lisa Beatty back there. It's her birthday today. Okay, number 2 from Alec Oglesby. He wants to know, how old will Cooper be when he can beat you one-on-one?
Never.
I figured that was coming.
Not happening.
Okay, from Jacob Johnson. What is the fastest animal in the world?
The peregrine falcon.
That is correct. He thought you would say cheetah, but it is the peregrine falcon who can fly at 200 miles per hour.
Because of Cooper McDevitt.
There you go.
If you ask him questions about animals, this guy right here knows it.
Cooper dropping the dime there, giving you the assist.
The assist.
Chris Loof wants to know, how many Diet Mountain Dews can you drink in one day?
Oh, the daily is 4. It's going to be 4. If it's a low day is 3, a high day is 5.
Okay.
I'm trying not to drink a 6-pack of Diet Mountain Dew in a single day, but
you're trying.
It can happen.
All right, and number 5, Jalen Counter wants to know, if you were on this team as a player, how many points would you average per game?
0.4.
0.4.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, it probably wouldn't be a lot. These guys can do so many things that not many can. I mean, Justin Porter's a fast dude. I was never that fast. Jalen Counter and Cam Weston are so big and strong. It would be hard for me to get enough playing time to score very many.
Yeah, exactly.
But they don't want to shoot with me, I tell you that.
Oh, you put on a little display there at the beginning of practice every day. But do want to thank Rory, Alec, Chris, Jacob, and Jalen for their help. The other players will be helping me out to help put you on the spot a little bit more as the season moves along. We'll take our final timeout, look ahead to the week ahead, as it will be New Mexico State and UTEP coming to town after this on the Blue Raider Network from Van Wagner.
Nothing is more expensive than a missed opportunity that could have changed your life. Maybe you're just graduating high school or are working and need to earn a degree to advance your career. or you aspire to be a leader, and a graduate degree can make that happen. Whether you're just starting out or retooling for the future, Middle Tennessee State University can help you get there. MTSU, the University of Opportunities.
Roscoe Brown is proud to be a longtime supporter of MTSU athletics and your locally owned HVAC and plumbing company for over 80 years. Roscoe Brown has been the trusted name for heating, cooling, and plumbing for Middle Tennessee homeowners and businesses. Call 888-MY-ROSCOE to schedule your HVAC or plumbing service today. Turn to the experts at Carrier and Roscoe Brown. People you know, a name you trust. Go Blue Raiders.
Roscoe Brown. RoscoeBrown.com.
Tennessee Orthopedic Alliance takes great pride in supporting and treating Middle Tennessee State University athletes. Providing expert treatment of injuries to bones, joints, or muscles, TOA's team of orthopedic specialists can get you back in the game. Same-day appointments and walk-ins are welcome. Injured? Visit one of our many ortho urgent cares, or to make an appointment, call 1-855-NEED-TOA or visit www.toa.com. TOA, the official team doctor for Blue Raider Athletics.
The MTSU Alumni Association is proud of its more than 130,000 living alumni who are leading, teaching, entertaining, researching, flying, farming, nursing, and more worldwide.
Alrighty.
Accomplishment adds value to your degree. Are you connected to the MTSU National Alumni Association? Visit mtalumni.com to share what you're doing. Update your information and see how you can be involved and informed. You can also follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
Coming back, 3, 2, 1.
Final segment tonight from the Boulevard. Want to thank Brandon Aldridge, our studio producer this evening. Thank our big crowd here tonight, including our president, Dr. Sidney McPhee, for being here with us this evening. Couple of events coming up this week. In addition to basketball, Friday will be the 52nd annual Groundhog Day Luncheon. And if you haven't gotten your tickets for Blue Bloods in the Round on February 13th down at the Humble Baron, you need to do that. This week, though, Thursday night, it will be New Mexico State, and then Saturday afternoon, UTEP, both really, really good teams.
Really good teams. Both are really physical. It's a similar style of play. They're going to really be aggressive defensively, overplay passing lanes, really try to turn you over. At one point, obviously, New Mexico State's the first game in the week, but UTEP on Saturday, I don't know that they still are, but at one point they were the #1 team in the country at forcing turnovers. And so it's going to be that kind of game. If you can pass and catch and not turn it over, you've got a pretty good chance to beat them. Yeah. If you're throwing the ball all over the lot and having 18, 20 turnovers, you're not going to win those games. But they're really physical on the glass. Just try to make it a rough, tough, physical game and not let you run your offense, make you uncomfortable, don't give you any clean looks. And when your ball care isn't very good, it's hard to beat either one of those teams.
Yeah, Trey Green had a coming out party against New Mexico State last year with 6 threes. He has really been a nice X factor for you this year.
He really has. Right now he's shooting over 50% from 3 on the season. He's a physical guy himself, can handle the beating and banging that happens in those kind of games. He's a really good defender. He's added depth. Would love to have a couple guys that have been missing in action because of injuries back this weekend, and that's a possibility, yes. And so if we can get those guys back out there, then I like where we're headed down the stretch here.
I know you want to keep building on the crowd that we had against Western Kentucky. It's huge this weekend to get folks out.
Then, man, our guys fed off that energy. It was a great crowd. Always love beating the boys in red, and we'll have our chance again up there. But it was a really good crowd, and would love to have another great 2 crowds here on Thursday and Saturday.
All right, that's going to wrap it up, folks. Thanks for being out here. We'll be back here next Monday, but be out at the Murphy Center on Thursday and Saturday. For the head coach, Chip Walters, saying thanks for being with us. Good night from the Boulevard on the